parts.
Nice. Good. Do you still have time for exploring something?
Sure.
So, in these topics of, you already speak about values, and that surprised me, and integrity. I mean, surprised me because I mean, I have this square mind that think that people that dress like you or have tattoos or something like this, they have this kind of values, you know? Yeah, this is my square mind.
Your square, yeah, your
Yeah,
filter.
yeah. But so just told me, so because I see you and I say, okay, um, so this guy really believe in God. Wow, I mean, yeah, yeah. So so what is God for you? And the gods, or the, like you say, integrity is important. Maybe you already speak about it, but let's give some more.
Let's stay with these values before we go to God, okay? Because I can see you at some filter or something. Well, I think you probably remember from the fourth way, which I can reference here. Those teachers were saying that um, let's see. Yeah, basically religions that ensure some code of conduct, you know,
Mhm.
do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. Religions are actually it starts from actually like an enlightened master or awake teacher, teacher or prophet or whatever that became raise their level of consciousness to a high degree to the point that they get in harmony with themselves and with reality, with all that is God, Tao, and then they are kind of seeing a reality as it is, or seeing a truth as it is, uh, and uh, and part of those insights is that it's all one. There's just one being. The whole universe is one being. From one angle, the whole universe is one reality, and it's like the whole ocean is the ocean. Every wave is the ocean. Every drop of water is the ocean. Therefore, everybody is me. So, at the high level of consciousness, all the sages they see this thing, whether they are Hindu, Buddhist, Taoist, Islam, whatever. They see that, and then out of that deep seeing, I guess, third eye or whatever, clear seeing, they can see, wow, I cannot. From that place, I can only be benevolent towards life. I can only be. I cannot hurt or lie or steal or cheat or kill, because I'm only doing this to me. So I'm naturally treating other people how we want to be treated. Of course, they are, if let's say somebody, let's say in, I'm very awake and there's some societal crisis, and then some people come on drugs to hurt my family and my kids and my wife, and I'm awake, I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to kill them. Or I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend myself, escape. And if I have no other choice, in order to protect my partner, my kid from those violent people, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Yeah. So there's an exception to that. But anyway, there is this understanding and natural non-hurtfulness, natural non-violence, and natural goodwill towards all life. Yeah. Now, what happens is that wisdom, then that sage comes back to society, and society is asleep. And so society doesn't see that everything is one. So then the sage, the saint, out of compassion to the society, they offer some rules like, hey guys, if you want to have more inner harmony, and if you want to have more fulfillment in life and happiness, I suggest you stop doing this and this and this and this and that. So they become some rules, that later, after hundreds of years, they become rigid. Yeah. So that's kind of the religion. But there are some values. There are these values coming from seeing the oneness of all life and the sacredness of all life. So these are these values of also, this, let's say, integrity, honesty, kindness, fairness, generosity, all that. They are friendliness, helpfulness. They come natural from a higher state of consciousness, Also from the understanding that being, let's say, vicious and gossiping and undermining him and vengeance and stealing and taking advantage, lying to my clients to get more money or something, this actually, it hurts me. One is more awake and conscious. One sees that this creates inner conflict and stress and all of that. So I can't hear you now.
Yeah, you say that they are coming from a higher consciousness and things. Okay. Children's supposed to have this higher connection with this higher consciousness or not? I mean, is that like, because we all the time kind of have to tell them what to do or what not to do, yes? But they're supposed to be very open and very supposed to be very light, no?
Well, I think that the children are less programmed, so there's some more inner innocence and purity in some way. But you can see how, like, a child comes like, damn, So just being somebody is a child, it doesn't mean that it is awake. There's less programs, but they are kids that are, I've seen a lot of kids. They are sweet and innocent, and some other kids, they are selfish, and by the age of 2 or 3, the ego starts to form. It's like, no, it's mine. So I'm not sure about the kids as being that's not so that's my answer on the kids. What about the kids?
No, well, because then I was thinking, yes, so because I mean, Christ says, be like a children, yes, because Mercury, in essence, are going to steal something. I mean, I remember when I was a child, I like to go to the stores and steal candies from the and I was like 6 years, or I don't know, and my mother was like, no, you don't do that, and it's like, I mean, what is wrong about it, So
okay, okay, we're talking about values, and now you brought this thing that Jesus said, be like the children, but then some children are selfish and are stealing, so then it's confusing, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't bring this children thing up. I mean, I think that this children is esoteric. I think this from the Gospel of Thomas. If you check it out, it's very very esoteric, and a lot of this Bible, it's esoteric, is not like, there's a deeper inner meaning. So I remember in the Gospel of Thomas, disciples asked Jesus how to wake up, how to reach the kingdom of heaven. And he says something like, well, the man needs to become more like a woman, and the woman needs to become more like a man, and both of them to become more like a child. And then you will reach the kingdom of heaven, you know? So, okay, but this is very esoteric, symbolical, you know? And I think when in spiritual tradition, a child is used is some allegorical pointer towards some sense of innocence and the purity of heart. But I get it. Not all children are like that. Values, this is important.
Yeah, of course not. I mean,
I guess when we are less awake, we need some rules of conduct. Otherwise, we can hurt ourselves. When we are more awake, we need less rules of conduct because we naturally feel what's right.
Exactly.
And there's this natural sense of David Hawkins. I studied with him. He was very wise. You know, was like a mystic, sage, awakened teacher, spiritual teacher, but also had 50 years of being a psychiatrist. So he was very versatile. And he was offering to people, you know, this teaching about meditation and consciousness and who am I and various things, the ego and all of that. But he was suggesting this practice of, he would say this would take one very far if one uses this teaching to cultivate lovingness towards all life, including oneself, towards all life. Another way to call it, to cultivate a sense of benevolence and goodwill towards all life, including myself. Meaning to not wish any harm to anybody and to wish everyone only what's the best thing. Not just a wish, also lovingness. He wasn't talking about like, oh, to feel some emotion. He was saying this lovingness or benevolence is like a consciousness attitude. It's some attitude towards life of benevolence, lovingness, helpfulness, kindness. So to do that all the time. However, if somebody is toxic and abusive or harmful or dangerous, to put boundaries like, hey, dude, get out, call the cops, get out of here right now. So still attitude of benevolence, but not being weak or taking shit. That's not loving, because one is going to be unloving towards oneself. So with the caveat of loving and kind, but not weak and a pushover. Yeah. And so that was very helpful to me. One can use that as a practice, and he will say, okay, try to do that all the time and observe whenever something else comes, when you can't do it. Okay, I have this resentment now. I have this hatred, this resentment. Okay, you need to process, see what that is. There's some aspect of your ego. Process it thoroughly until it lets go. You can go back into this benevolence, lovingness. However, as one gets more awake to reality and to oneself, one does that more effortlessly. And if I am not doing that, it's like painful to me. So it's almost like one has this inner, you know, when you go off road, you're like, oh, it's bumpy and all that. So going off road, it's unpleasant. So then the suffering brings you back on track.
And he said, but the first value have to be justice. Or the first value.
Okay, well, let's see. Two ideas I have here. coming back to the fourth way, and Gurdjieff was speaking about the different levels of men, and he put them on certain levels of development. And we are not going to go into explaining each one level, but it was from level 1 to level 7. Like level 1 or 2 or 3 would be the unconscious asleep humanity, and the more one goes, it's more awake and conscious. So, and they were saying there that words like justice, freedom, love, truth, sex, love, whatever, all of these, they need to be looked at. So it can be justice level number 1, level number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. So values. So man number 1 will have different values than a man number 5 and a man number 7. Sex means something else for man number 1 and man number 7. Freedom will mean something else. So I think that will help to clear some confusion. Yeah, because everybody have values, you know, but their values are coming from their own level of consciousness. And even if they say the same word, you know, like freedom, for some level, it means that I do whatever the fuck I want. Leave me alone. I do whatever I want. Yeah, and it's a small aspect of freedom. There's much more to freedom than that. You know, at some other aspect of consciousness, freedom means that I'm free from my mind, and I am abiding as the presence, and I'm free from my own ego, or freedom from being affected by external for my happiness. That's very different than to do whatever my ego wants to do anytime. So even words like truth, again, I mean, it's like truth can be seen as being honest, but it's also many levels of truth. What is truth? Also, coming back to this value, I was talking about this value of treating others as you want to be treated, as a spiritual practice. This kind of value that will help one grow, you know, being loving. You know, one can have benevolence or ill will, goodwill, loving. I can have some love and acceptance towards someone, but I don't like you. I don't like you. And I don't want to spend time with you at all. That can coincide, you know. I have people like that. I can have some aspect of love and wanting them the very best, but I don't want to spend time with them at all, and I don't like them. Because, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to love people's ego all the time. You know what I mean? The level of the mind and the ego mind, it's endless confusion and inner conflict. So it's very confusing. Because I work with a lot of people, and there's all these people, they are very religious, Christian, righteous, devoted to helping others and all that. But from one angle, they are like very vain, arrogant, righteous, and judgmental. That has nothing to do with Jesus' teaching, you know? So less confusion is like to be freer from the programs that have been these cultural, limited, unconscious programs from society. Those are clouding the vision, and having less programs and seeing from wisdom and from conscience, seeing from the truth is more simple. Also, you know, at the time of Buddha appeared in Indian cultural norms with the caste system, yeah, that only one or two of the castes were allowed to do spiritual work and to meditate. The other two castes, they were like the untouchables. You don't touch them. You don't do this. Buddha didn't give a shit about that. He welcomed all the castes to his teaching. Yeah, although the priests and religious people at his time, they were like, "Whoa, no, you can't accept this. You can't do that." No, women are not going to attain enlightenment. Jesus too. He would go and hang out with the prostitute and with the this and that. He will accept them all. Some of the priests will say, well, women are not suitable for this. No. So you see, some of the greatest saints and sages of humanity, they didn't follow the religious conditioning of their own time, because they could see that this is not aligned with the truth, as that being that the divine loves and accepts everything. However, if you are in your ego and you do shit, you're going to suffer also. You know what I mean? You're doing it to yourself. Yeah.
Yes, okay. For today, I think.
Yeah, you're going to have a headache now.
I will be overwhelmed. Just like, wait.
Yeah.
Thank you. So everything like about pain, body, ego, and all these kind of things. I think we discussed it in other talks before, so you can watch it in other recorders with Mihai if you wish to check. And well, thank you very much, Mihai, for the opportunity. And I hope to see you again if you have the time. And yes.
Yes, thank you for your good questions and inquisitive mind, and may it help people. Yeah, and stay in touch.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.